Happy Friday afternoon, everybody. It is the 26th episode of Chris and Brick, and this one's a special one. First of all, it's Friday, so I'm chewing a little bit of gum, so maybe that's rude, but it just tastes good, so I hope you guys will be okay with it. Today, Brick has actually requested that I share a little more about his family history, and we're going to do that via infographic. So a little bit of artwork that I will be sharing with you. But before we do, I'm very excited to share a little piece of some fan art that was sent to me by one of our subscribers. And I need everybody to see this. I mean, I am absolutely in heaven with my new, I believe what's going to be my new avatar for the Chris and Brick show. I mean, the fact that someone would take such a amount of time to sit down and carve that out and then send it to me. I mean, that was such a sweet and thoughtful thing, and it absolutely warrants being a part of the show forevermore. So thank you so much to Tori Star. I know your real name, but I'm going to just call you Tori Star for everybody else. But let's get back to the topic at hand, which is Brick has spent the last night and this morning kind of giving me a general breakdown of his family pile. Normally you would say family tree, but it's really a brick, so it's a pile of bricks. So this is his family pile to some degree. Now, it's mostly a family portrait, which has a few key members illustrated, and he's still filling in some more for me. So what I'll do is I'll end up ultimately completing the portrait at his request with a few additional, probably 4 or 5 family members that he'd like to highlight. But I'd like to start off by saying that with the Brick family portrait, that it has opened my eyes to the fact that, I mean, families are families no matter where you go. You know, you've got all different characters that play all different roles, and Brick's family is no different. And I think you'll see that here in just a second. I'm gonna bring it up here for you to see. Brick, so I'm gonna actually move you just a slightly bit out of the way so that I can make sure that I can show the audience the schematic of your life. There's a few areas in here that hopefully people won't get too sensitive about, but or may or may not be able to identify with, and that's okay. You know, don't expect that this is targeted towards anything other than being clear on this is who he is and this is where he comes from. Now, Brick has spent the majority of his life in the Orlando area. I don't actually know his original his origin of manufacturing or what have you, but I do know, and I say that because I don't know that he knows, and you'll see why here shortly when I bring up the family portrait. So let's go ahead and hop in, and because I want to get this up to you guys and get your feedback, after the broadcast. So here it comes. So this is a start of the Brick family portrait. Okay. Now, I apologize for the clunky nature of this, but I got to do it this way for right now because that's how I'm set up. And I know that it's going to show up backwards, but when I send it to anybody, if you want to actually have a copy of it, what you'll be able to see is in its normal format. So each one of these is a member of the Brick family household, and there are some key figures that Brick has asked me to highlight, and also, it'll be indicative of kind of how they show up on the page. So, for example, we'll start up at the top here. This one, with all the little exclamation lines around it, that's actually Brick. Now, that's Brick as a small Brick before he was fully grown, or it was fully grown, or they are fully grown. Brick's mother is over to the side. And then, he asked me to highlight the fact that, well, where's Dad? He doesn't know his father. And that actually lends the whole, the whole concept of the fact that he doesn't know where he came from entirely. So mom has some insights, but dad has, the remainder of the mysterious information. So off to the side here, we've got cousin Tony. He's kind of known as Tony the Loner. So he was not really in the photo, the family portrait itself. He was kind of off to the side, which is pretty common for Tony. He's a bit of an enigma, but he's definitely a treasured member of the family. Down here, we have Aunt Louise. And Aunt Louise is down here because she's the smoker. And so they didn't really want her in the picture too close to everyone because smoking's not good for you, kids. So I would highly recommend, encouraging family members to give up smoking, find healthier alternatives to live your life. And that actually segues into the next family member, which is Uncle Buck. Now you can see Uncle Buck over here. Uncle Buck had what we call a bit of a drinking problem, or he drank a bit, as they like to put it. And sadly, Uncle Buck did in fact pass away due to cirrhosis of the mortar. And as you can see, where it was starting to actually dissolve away. So Uncle Buck did have a storied history. He's lived through multiple wars, was also a key member in kind of building out the local rail system here in Orlando, and lived a very storied life, a little bit of a rough life, but he took comfort in a few nips at the bottle, and I think it was a few too many, and unfortunately it took him out. But I do know that Brick said that was one of his favorite uncles to spend some time with. Every family has a matriarch. And while Mom up here is Brick's direct matriarch, we have Granny, who's right here. And Granny is the family mortar. Mortar equals martyr in this case, but mortar, you get the idea, they're bricks. So she's the one that's kind of the glue that holds everyone together. And as you can see, she's on her own line in the photo, and she's kind of the one that's holding the top part of the family together with the bottom part of the photograph. It's really just been an interesting experience getting to know Brick's family, getting to know the people that have contributed, the bricks that have contributed to who he is today. And while the portrait is relatively complete, I'm planning to probably add in a few more family members, assuming you're up for that, Brick. And yep, okay, he is. So we'll probably add one or two more. And then again, along the veins of the other pieces of artwork that we've shared, Douglas the schematic, and the anatomy of cats and how deadly they are. This will also be available if someone would like to have a copy of Brick's family tree. I highly recommend it. It'll really make you feel a little bit more close to Brick and who he is as a member of the Orlando community, and who he is to his family. He's a brick house. So we'll leave it at that. But I just wanted to share a little bit more backstory on Brick, a few of his family members. As you can tell, the family members that Brick has aren't entirely different than a lot of the family members that we have. I mean, a few variations here and there, but we all have history, and like them or hate them, they're family, and you always include your family. And then there's also, and this will come up when I do the update, but there are also extended family members, which are those that, they may have married a previous family member and since gotten divorced, and they still show up to the family gatherings and so forth because they've always been welcome. They were good energy, and that's, I think, one of the unique qualities that I really love about the families that do that sort of thing, where they are always accepting of certain individuals because of the good energy that they bring. The other aspect of this is there's some people that they've just naturally adopted, and again, Brick will probably call out one or two of those. They have no specific ties to the family, but they've been involved with the family for so long that they're essentially an adopted member. So anyway, thank you guys so much for our first episode on Friday afternoon. I hope you are all going to have a great weekend. I plan to get caught up on some videos. I owe you guys a number of videos, and I've got a few other outstanding items I need to get taken care of, and then, try and relax a little bit if possible. So anyway, have a great week. I'll talk to you all a little bit later. Brick will have more to contribute on his family and additional topics that'll be coming up. I know I've done a few teasers talking about another segment that we're working on. It's still very much in the works. We've got most of the foundational work already mapped out, so you'll get to see the next the Brick edition that will be going in a little bit of a different direction, but with a lot of good content and good value. So stand by, and we look forward to sharing it with you. Have a good day.